All right. Let's see. All right, there we go to my channel. All right, getting this thing started up. Has my stream started? My feed's not showing me anything right now. I think my computer is just slow, probably. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, so the lag between the stream and my responses is about 7 seconds, I'd say. So that's pretty alright for now. Pretty alright for what I've got. So I'm gonna, let's see, I guess charge up my pin so it doesn't die midstream like it's been doing the past few times while I wait to see like who all is joining. So I think we have one person here. Just when you join, just please comment so that I can just keep track of who all is here. I know one person was going to give some advice on making eyes. I'm sure some others are interested as well. I was going to work on my own characters, which was, this is like part of that, but I'll get to that later in the stream if like enough people are like just asking about other stuff like eyes and stuff. So I'm expecting like around 3 or more people to show up, which would be nice if I can get like more than that to show up. That would be great because like the most I've ever had show up at one point was like 5 or 6 people, and that was because I was doing a video game stream. And this is nice and all having like a couple people. I was getting comments and they were like different people, so it's nice. That was early on in my streaming, so I didn't have much. I didn't really have a following anyway. Now lately, in like the past few days, I got a number of followers. Now I've got 14 now, so I'm expecting at least see like 1 or 2 people maybe pop in. I want to keep increasing that number so that I can start getting like an active audience. Yeah, but I'm still waiting for like for people to show up. If it stays active, then this time I might go longer than an hour simply because, well, I don't work right now and I got plenty of time to do so. Looks like we lost one person. Hopefully they'll come back. Yep. So just waiting, and I think that one person watching right now is me. Okay, looks like that person came back. Mm-hmm. And I got this like partial pixelation whole thing because I bumped up the resolution of the image after I had done like that the thicker stroke, and so like and I bumped up the resolution because it was too pixelated. So now if I zoom in that much, now you can see that pixels, and that's fine at that point. Like being able to zoom in this much for the eye still have look that pixelated. It's like alright. This is probably the distance I want to work in for the eyes. I don't need to be super close, and so it's still looking smooth is good. That's where I want to be. Okay, so we're at 3 people here now. So please comment just to let me know that you're here. I think one of those viewers is actually me. The system's weird like that. I'm pretty sure it's me because there's always like one viewer, but there'll be many times where I get no comments. So I'm pretty sure that's just me. If Stoned Mizu from one of the Discord servers is watching, please let me know so I can go on and get started with drawing eyes. That's what I was gonna do. So now I'll just explain what I do for eyes. All right. Stone Mizu responded. Okay. And let me know if you have like a specific eye too that you want to learn how to draw, and so that I can go on and try to break that down as well. Not the best artist, but I've learned a lot in a short period of time, and I'm really good at improving myself and knowing what to expect when I get other people to critique it. I've got an eye for getting a general idea of what's wrong with my stuff. Let's see if we need that. But yeah, if you have like a specific eye you want me to draw or I need help with, let me know. Well, we got 4 people now. Cool. I don't know what that is. And this is the one I did like yesterday. Did I finish the line work? No, I didn't. I finished the line work on like a lot of the outline. Need to finish the rest, and then just so I can actually paint her. Maybe fix the eyes a little bit, but so back to the other one. And I really only just started using Metabang again. You guys should be able to see on the stream, but there are dates at the bottoms of each of these files. And as you can see, the last time I used this was back in April, mid-April. And I stopped. And you can't tell too well from like this distance, but there is a big gap in between April time frame and now. Like while we're here, let me bring up one from a year ago. Do I have one from a year ago in the software? First time I used the software was okay. Yeah, I do. Back so just you guys get the reference of how much I've like grown a period of time. This was like end of August last year. Yeah, I don't like it. And then I stopped until like beginning of this year because I had switched to the Clip Studio, to which then I started using Metabang again because it was a contest. There's that. That's a lot better. Still got issues with that. I could fix that. And then later on, 10 days later from that same time, issues and misses. This one's definitely still to this day the best part of this. She was a nice attempt, but like this is me trying to add someone else's style to mine, so I don't really like it. It's a little bit off. And the rest of this was just stuff for projects as well as practicing and other things. But yeah, these were the two characters that I showed at the beginning of the stream. This was like this was back in was it March of this year? Yeah, it was mid-March. And you see them now. A little bit of manga pages there. So you see them now, and this is what they look like now. Still need to put clothes on them and outfits, but you can see that there's a big difference. Big difference. Yep. Anyway, let's go on and get to the eyes. And as I said, just make sure you comment. Let me know what eyes you want me to draw. If you have like an actual image of an eye or characters or a character, and you liked how their eyes look, and you want me to draw them, just drop that in the chat, and I'll open it up and see what I can do. Let's go on and do this. Since I'm just doing eyes, I don't need any kind of high detail. I got 2000 DPI on here. That's just because it was a previous setting. 2000 DPI, I will say, is not the best thing to have when you're actually using pixels. When you're actually using pixels as your width and height. I learned that earlier today because I had bumped it up to 2000 and I was like, why isn't this not helping me? Then I realized because it converts, we do pixels, 2000 DPI that's display pixels per inch or display per inch, whatever, or pixels per inch, however people read it. So that's 2000 pixels per inch. So then if I go to actual inches, it shouldn't be much more than 1 inch square, which it isn't. Now, if I set this to what just happened? Now, if I change this to 300, this will increase this to that to just that. It's not a big difference, but it's a little bit. So it's easy to just increase the DPI when you're already in inches. That way you know that you're increasing the resolution. Otherwise, you have to do all kinds of math with the pixels, and it can be annoying. But it's not super difficult once you understand. Anyway, though, so eyes. Now let's see. Since I've yet to get an actual comment on what eyes I should draw, I guess I just have to look for what eye to draw since no one's commenting. Alright, so let's just do the pencil. You don't even have to do a circle, but I'm just making a circle for a point. So you can do this, and you can do this, have roughly the same distance. Do this. They are roughly the same size. They're probably off a little bit, but they're close enough to where it doesn't matter. Now, the method I use to make eyes is not really a method I see anywhere else. I'm sure some other artists have figured this out, but this is what I do. So, and it's really actually easier for me to teach this if I'm looking at a reference, because it's just instinctive for me. And once I created like this method to draw eyes, I stopped using it because I would just do it automatically without this extra circle and everything. But hold on, let me just look up an eye quick. And that'll be probably what happens to a lot of artists as they get better at things, is that they'll just start bypassing steps because they'll be doing it as they go along automatically or mentally. But here's what you can do. So the eye has two eyelids. We know this. And there's a line there. You can do it for the halfway point. I never do, but for the sake of this, you can. Now for the upper eyelid, right where it's like the cornea, right above, you could do like a point. Then for the back very corner of the eye, on the other end, you could do another point. Now, for many eyes, it depends on the style somewhat, but for generally the regular almond and rounder shaped eyes, you could do this. You could do a point for like the bottom eyelid. Now, you do this, and then you can just like connect them. You can curve them or not. You can do them. You can do like the eyes straight between each other. You can do something with that, but that looks really terrible. So what I do is, you can curve it, and so we know that the eye is not straight from the bottom. There's a slight curve. So you can just do that, and there's a slight curve from here to there, and then there's a slight curve overhead. And then that's really it there. Then you could just make this thicker. Maybe what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of emphasis to that bottom, a little bit. And then you can just go in with like the eyeball. Just put like a dot. Don't try to box in a circle like this. I've done this like a bunch of times early on, and it does not help you. And it often throws you. What did I just do? Okay, I made it invisible. All right. So what you want to do is just do a dot, rough dot in this. You can do it in the center, or you do it slightly off of the center. Doesn't matter. Now around that, you want to kind of try to sketch in an eye. Now you could tell that the circle is slightly too high. The iris is generally a circle in most cases, unless you start to distort it a little bit. So let's try to make it more in the center of the circle. So there you go, an eye. And if you turn it upside down, it can still be used. You turn it upside down, it's perfect for like someone looking down on you, like at an angle. But I never do that. I don't use it for that. I just figure out how to draw eyes upside down. Draw eyes looking down, not upside down. So then you could just like darken that edge there. And there. Now you got an eye for like someone who's just like excited or angry or evil, or just you like them having small pupils. You want to add some depth to it, and then you can just do like something simple like this. You just really just do that. And want to add a little bit more so it stands out more, you just do like curve this down a little bit more. Just add a little bit more shading in there. And because like the top of the eye casts a little bit of darkness over the eye, you can darken that top part more. Kind of fade it a little bit as it's going down. Get like ease up a little bit so that it gets darker as it goes up. And ta-da! The eye is looking much better. Of course, there's the whole thing with like the eyelid, which some artists do it first, some artists do it second. I vary depending on what I'm doing. I don't know which way is the correct order to do it. Not every artist puts in the eyelid either. It's really just how much realism and anatomy you want to bring in. So you want to make it bigger. You just do like that. Let's make another one around. Or you could just start off with a bigger circle. There's that too. Maybe you want to just make it like add another ring. You just make it. It doesn't have to be like a normal eye. There you go. You've got yourself a crazy eye. Add shading to it, like the rest, like the inner side, or not. It's really up to you. Maybe like add some like thicker eyebrows. I mean eyelashes. Maybe add like an eyelash on the bottom. A little cresting here, because I like doing that sometimes. There you go. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's just, I do this. I did the same thing earlier on. Is that I've realized the issue with my eyes is I would start with a big pupil, and that would cause me to mess up because then like you start with a big pupil, and when you like start to put your eye around it. Thing is, when your pupil is big and round, your pupil expands to take in more light. Now your pupils can also look like that when you are your eyes are dilated, or you're in a really dark area, or I think it also happens when you're on drugs or if you're high. So that's part of the whole stone look. That's where it comes from. Now, say like after you did this eye, you like, oh, okay, so now I want to add more to the pupil. Now you can go in this like because you already have the rest of the eye mapped up. You don't have to worry about your pupil being off center or anything. And if you make the pupil bigger, I would say try to add more to the gradient up here too. Make it a little bit darker up there so that it just blends in with this more. You can add a little bit down there if you want to. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I would just add like a curve right here. It has no point to it, but I'll do it anyway. And then you can just like add like a little thing there. Slightly in the actual pupil and then ta-da, eye. It looks weird because I did the rings on the outside and add the same shading to it. Say you wanted like a cat eye, or slit the pupil. You could just do like, just turn it to a slit now, and there you go. It's that simple. Now let's do another one. It's going to be on the other side. This method is also easy for like if you have issues drawing like on different sides of like your hand or different sides of the screen or different sides of the character's face. This here would be like literally the one eye between each other, so you could just do like, oh look, there's a nose here. That's an ugly nose, but you get the point. That's a really ugly nose, but yeah, that's where we go. So let's see, where would I put this next point? So I want to erase this point there. Let's do a different eye. Are there any suggestions for a type of eye I could draw? Nope, doesn't look like it. So I'll just go on to the next thing, and let's try a more. The eye I already drew is kind of droopy. I don't usually do that. I usually have my eyes more like I usually follow like the upper eyelid first and then curve down afterwards, like so. Let's have like pointing up there and point up there. Actually, the other thing is like so. You got your point up here. Then like you could have you want your eye more angled. So you would have the point that's on the very end over here. You will have that slightly higher than the one that's over here. So I'll have this like right there. Now let's do this. We connect this to there. There. And then what do we do here? We could do like that. And maybe do like, well, when you compare it to the other eye, it just throws you all off. So I'll just keep it over here. So see, look, that eye works though. Or you do like there. That eye still works. It doesn't look that good, but it works. Or you could do like have it I don't know where they're looking, but that still works if you clean it up a little bit. Basically, you want to start though with like you can start with a circle if you want. Some people probably do. This is kind of weird. I don't like doing that. Maybe like if I'm planning to go over it with another sketch, I might. But you want to start with either a dot or you want to start with like a small that it's really either or. Whatever little indicator you need to help you plan out where you're gonna put the iris. And then you don't have to do a circle either. You could do like a more oval shape. Just know that the pupil is always right in the middle of the oval, vertical middle, or is flat out absolute middle if it's a circle, or generally just middle in general, regardless of the shape. So you would do. So if the oval, like say if the oval goes down to here, then I would know that the top of it would be like round up here. So and that still works as an eye. And of course I would just like clean up the eyelets more. Maybe I would like make it thicker. And maybe I'll curve this down here. And there you go. So that's another eye. And I'm going to go and shrink that since it's annoying me so much. Put that over there. Okay, so let's see. I got comments in the stream. Let's see. So what was posted? The eyes this character has are the type I want to be able to draw. Issues with the bottom eyelid of characters. Okay, issue with the eye taking up too much space on the face. Okay, so it sounds like you may also have some, well, probably because I'm guessing you're a newer artist than me. You have problems planning out the positioning of the face. So you would need to see. I'm bringing up the image now so I can see what it is you need help drawing. Okay, let's see. So for that, that's also a pretty simple eye. I'll do it just how it looks like in the image to me. So the triangle method, which you could do it without the circle, it might actually help you. Do it like so. Actually, let me go on and save this and bring it up in here if I can. I'm trying to send it to my iPad, but my iPad gets pretty slow when I'm streaming at the same time. I mean, not my iPad, my laptop. See, will it even let me send it? Now it's freezing. Now everything is freezing. Yeah, but my laptop is actually freezing over. So it might not be the best idea trying to. The stream is still going because I'm not using Chrome to stream. I'm using like OBS. Okay, there we go. It stopped freezing. That's rare. It usually doesn't stop freezing after a certain amount of time's gone by. Okay, sent it to my laptop. I mean, not laptop. Sent it from my laptop to my iPad. At least I thought I did. What's going on? Okay, there we go. All right. No, okay, yeah, I sent it twice. Okay. So now let's see. Imported image. How do I do that on this? I never imported an image, or if I did, it was a long time ago. How do I? This is how you export, but how do you import? You have like a new layer. Yeah, that's not gonna help either. But I think that was the right spot. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Your wish has been granted. Well, I have no idea. Extract line. Let's see what this does. Okay, that is cool. It's not like we needed. I don't need the line art anyway though. So I'll just keep it in color for the sake of the stream. Alright, so let's see then. So you have problems with the lower eyelid. Now I'm going to draw right on top of this. Just the guidelines so you can see, understand that method better. Now for this, let me go on in. Make it level. It'll be easier for you to tell if like I just make it even. Crap, as DPI too high is lagging. I already stopped, but it's still moving. Why is it lagging so much? So this is the issue when it's like the DPI is too high. Okay, it took forever to stop that. I'll just turn this there. Now it's easier. So, crap. Here we go. Now it's easier. So we're gonna make this even there. Even there. The space between these is roughly equal to the same as the eye. That's not always the case. There's some small differences here and there. That's more complicated to go into though, so don't worry about that. Now for the triangle method, let's start with the right eye, or our right first. Now you could do this. You could put a point there, there, there. So you know it forms like that. Now if you were to do that over here, let me make it a bit bigger. There, there, there. You would lightly, or you can, or you don't have to. Now you would know that, say this is more of a curve. This is almost going straight into there. And then a little bit down from below there is where this one will curve into there. Now you said the lower, was the lower or upper eyelid? Okay, it's the bottom eyelid that you had issues with. All right, so from here on, so now that you got the general point marked out, you can add eyelashes. Sometimes you can add them on the inside or the outside. It really just depends on how you mapped it out. So you gotta add eyelashes words there. You can add the thicker eyelashes above too. That if you want to. You can add that little thing it's got going on there if you want. And then you just do this. Do a point. See that pupil's more towards the center. So I just do like there. And just like so you know it's like partially cut off up here. So you just shift the oval to the side a little bit. So the halfway point for there. It's like, yeah, just shift it to the side a little bit. Afterwards, you can just do this. Just make the point bigger. Make sure you're staying within the center. If the point you find is also off a little bit, just block it in towards the center as you build it up. And there's just a little light circle thing that's got going on. And shading. There you go. It's not perfect, but it gives you the point of how to make the eye. And also just fix it like more later. Like I would bring that down. Issue being though is that this is like it's a really generic eye, honestly. So if you're trying to learn how to draw from that, it's not going to help you a whole lot. And this right there is a little bit forward, so let me bring this in a little bit more. Now, another method you can do, which I don't do either, so you just do a circle. This one is easier if it's less restricted than the connect the dots weird triangle method that I have. So the triangle method helps you understand it a little bit better. This one is also better for keeping it loose and just understanding more. So you just do it like a rough circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so you know that this side will be like the edge. That side will be the edge. This can be the bottom if you want. And you know that the edge here, over here, is going to be slightly higher than it is down there. Now, I don't usually do these dashes that I'm doing on the side, but it's just for the sake of the example. You don't need to do the dashes for the circle method. Just make sure you're thinking about it. So you just do up and there. Up and there. I just go back and forth to just kind of draw it in or paint it in, whatever, back and forth. And You know that here is kind of like a curve, so you just go down and down. Down and down, up and up, down and down. There, there. Now just make the eyelid thicker up top. Put that point for the pupil, box that in. It's oval pupil. Make the pupil bigger if you want. I make it more of an oval actually, because it's just making more sense. If you're gonna make the iris an oval, then you might as well make the pupil oval. In most cases, it just looks better. And I think that looks better than the other one. And I think it works a little bit better than what's in the actual drawing. It's a bit messier in the outline. Like I would erase things like make this thinner down here. Maybe erase part of this over here. The general amount of mess is just confusing the detailing. Go back over a little bit for what you might have erased too much of. You can keep that little under eyelash thing it's got going on, but I will leave like a little bit of space going on down there. And a little bit, you can get rid of this line down there too. And there you go. Add the upper eyelash if you want. That's how you can like improve just the regular design of just some regular generic eye. You can improve them. This also can make your, like if you're redrawing something, that can be the difference between your drawing looking better or worse than theirs. Like when I draw, I don't just draw, it's like, oh, I really want to draw this character. I draw like how, I want to draw them in the way that I think looks the most attractive, or draw them in the best way that I personally can. And sometimes that makes them look better than they do. When it's fan art, it really depends. But yeah, I've looked through a lot of art tutorials in the past about 2 years. I've been just drilling into art, and I've noticed that like I don't know if anyone else has done these two methods that I do. When I draw, I kind of like I did the triangle method for maybe like a few weeks, and I do the circle method every now and then, because just doing a circle helps you just come back to later and then just etch the eye in, and then you can like put the pupils wherever you want, and it's good for like just figuring out expressions. So like you could actually potentially use that. So I do the circles every now and then because the circles themselves, your eye sockets are generally about circles. So once you understand how an eye is, and you know that your eyes are within your eye sockets, so when you draw in that circle, the marks for the actual eye itself are going to be within that circle. Parts of it going to the edge of the circle, just like your real life eyes. Anime is based off of real life anatomy to an extent. When you understand that, it makes it easier to do whatever you want. I'm still nowhere near to where I want to be, but I can vouch and say that it does help a lot. Yeah, so I don't know if I ever saw anyone actually explain like, oh, if you just do a dot and then this crap, you just do a dot and then a circle, it makes it much easier to just make the eye. Like I don't know, just not everyone just runs into that problem I have, or it's just people just forget that. But I had a lot of stone eyes and really bad eyes at the beginning, because I would just do this, and then I would just try to make this circle around it, and it looks a lot more off-centered. I don't know why. I think just making the pupil bigger makes it harder to make sure that it's even with the actual iris. Also, it makes you look high. So, like what it makes you look high. Like what is this? You are high. or on something. You're on something. Your eyes aren't naturally like that. And now I will say that your eyes can be like this, and then like maybe your pupils like that. Issue being is that you have to understand that once you do that, it's just that the upper part of the eye is also dark to blend in with there. And you got your lighting. Your lighting is one. It doesn't have to have an exact size. Just do some dots there and maybe down there. I like to have at least like one like partially going into the pupil because I think that's where it's needed the most. And there. Like if you draw a really stoned eye and you don't add that lighting is what gives life to the eyes. I think that's why when you got Mickey Mouse's eyes, they worked without any kind of lighting, even though it was just a cartoon, because it's just like that's literally what this is. It's just his eyes an oval. Old classic Mickey Mouse is an oval with a cut out of it. That cut helps represent that light. It also gives characteristic to it by looking like a pupil. Like if you just did this, just did an outline of the eye, and did this and box it in, you could take that as a pupil. It's not the best looking one, but it's just it makes you think that sometimes because that's Mickey Mouse eyes are also really ingenious for how they are exaggerations that you automatically know what they're doing. I'll just do another one here because it's just here. See, so you instinctively think that this eye is looking in a direction. Now, it doesn't even have to have actual anything around it. It just adds characteristics to it, sure, but you automatically think that it's looking that way. Just think like the eyes are supposed to be expressive. Don't just copy eyes. If you see eyes and you're like drawing it from like fan art and it looks really dead like this, I mean, I'm bashing this a little bit, but like I can't do a line work this good, but it kind of annoys me that they can do line art, but the actual styling, I would say honestly mine is better. This is an example of how like you may not be able to do great line art, but your art style itself or your skill at drawing itself could be better. So these eyes are dead, and the entire design is kind of generic. So you want to make sure that when you're redrawing something, don't always just try to get it how it is. If you can, try to improve it. The eyes could be less flat. Even with the fact that it's just this blocky shading that's like common for anime, or rather older anime comics, manga, anime drawing books. You don't have to just do that. They could have added like gradient to the top of the pupil, and then still added that lighting, and then it would have given the eyes more depth. You could also add a little bit of shading to the top of this, maybe to the bottom. Well, not to the bottom, but you could add shadings to the whites along with like the top of the pupil just to add that bit of more depth to it. There's a lot you can do with an eye to really just fully bring out a lot of information in it. But yeah, so lessons are you can start with the dot for a pupil. After you've done the general eye, you can turn it into whatever you want, and then like it makes it much easier to just do whatever you want with it. I don't even think too hard about. I only think hard about eyes when I'm drawing my own characters because I have specific eyes that I want them to have, and I'll usually like draw them about 3 times, 3 layers of sketches until like I actually get how I want their eyes to look. Because like my I have like 3 different styles, and I usually default to the first two before I get to what I want, which is the third style, which is I feel is my most appealing to look at. And this is one of the common like eye styles I do. It's just I personally like to do. And as you can see, the points for here would be there, there, there. Those are the major points. With just a curve up there, and you get the upper eyelid. Or you don't have to mark. You could just mark there and there. I don't do that because then like issue is there's too much you have to figure out. Now, if you already understand eyes, you wouldn't be doing it this hard anyway. But go by the most pronounced. Usually just go by the upper eyelid. I mean, not wait. No, you just go by the most pronounced eyelid. So and the one that's going out the most from the middle is this one. This one goes about to right there. This one goes there, and it's got that hard edge there. So you want to start from there. Now, in that regard, I think I've explained eyes pretty well. If there's any like other like things that you want me to explain that's within my knowledge, then sure, just feel free to comment and let me know. But let's see. I want to go back to. I guess I'll save it. I don't know. This could be a good dummy board later. So I'll go back to here. For the sake of it, because I wanted to paint one of my pieces tonight. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm going to go on and finish my line work on her. Let's see. Let's add a little bit more to her eyes. What was I using the pen? I guess I was using the pen. I think I was. The eyes are one of the I feel the most entertaining aspect. I find all of it entertaining, but I find it one of the most entertaining aspects. So you could put like the eyes are one of the parts that just make or break a character. There's just you could put so much life in the eyes. The eyes are literally the windows to a character's soul, so you can characterize a lot with them. If the eyes aren't visible, then you can still characterize the character greatly with like his other traits. But the eyes are usually like the best bet in my opinion to give you like an idea on the character's personality. Like you can have like the mouth do whatever, and the mouth could be that way just to be that way, or the hair could be messy just because it's messy, or the nose could be whatever because it's whatever. But the eyes, usually the eyes are the most defining trait. Now I say everything could be whatever, but that really applies to the eyes too. It's just in most cases the eyes give away the most, followed by the hair and nose. I mean the hair and mouth. The nose for in many anime, the nose doesn't get really a whole lot of focus. It's pretty much the same regardless, like character's age. The only real difference is if the character is a guy or a girl. If there's a guy, you may see more variation in the noses, but if it's a girl, you pretty much just see a little cute little button thing. It may not even be mostly visible. It might just be like a little thing, and you see like the shadow behind it, the lighting behind it, or whatever. So that's why, like for me personally, because I like to draw anime and I like to draw people, and I want to go in between anime and people for a semi-realistic style. If most anime do not involve the nose to a satisfactory level to learn from, and realistic noses are really too hard to put on an anime drawing, I had to learn a bit to figure out what I'm going to do to actually draw that, because the nose is a really interesting shape to figure out. Lips too are also like its own little issue. I'm glad I got the lips far enough along. line art though. Let's see. So we could do. Okay, so this is layer for the clothes. So right there. I don't know if my line art's actually heavy enough. Maybe in some spots it is, but I feel like overall it's not. Let's see. I can tell it's lagging a little bit. But yeah, you're welcome though for the whole I thing, triangle method. I rarely ever use it, like as I said, because it's very rigid, but it helps you understand it very fast. So very soon, if you're doing it correctly, you should be able to just instinctively know that I has three major points in most cases, and I can curve it around those 3 points. And the fourth remaining point that's a lot more minor, I can kind of sketch that in as well. Like up here, her eyes, three main points would be here, 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 and so you would curve that there, down here. This goes a little bit past there, and I leave this blank, but you can like just draw it too, and it still fits in. But yeah, hopefully that what I just told you will like help you be able to move on from that pretty fast. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I went into like it for like a good 40 minutes on eyes. It went faster than I thought it would, but yeah, because I plan to do tutorials in the future, and after I get like I was planning to do tutorials in the future as I got more of a following. It's kind of hard to get a following because like not a whole lot of people can I get to like follow me on Twitch or Patreon, so it's really hard to get a following. Recently, my Instagram has really just gotten like started taking off faster, but that's still not got me anything for Patreon. It's got me a few more followers on Twitch, so I like that. But hopefully that changes lately. But I was planning to like actually start there we go, another one on Instagram. Uh they've been getting a lot on Instagram lately. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I wanted to uh see this isn't going out as much as I want. But I was planning to do tutorials because I felt that a lot of videos I found as artists, like there are a lot of helpful tutorials and videos out there, but a lot of them miss parts and stuff I created. Someone who's not even a professional artist yet. I'm just an amateur artist who is good enough to sell his work sometimes, and have people genuinely like his style, even if he can't finish anything. I found that I'm already finding ways to improve on what people's teaching because people are like skipping parts or they're not figuring out easier ways to instruct people as good as they could. I feel like my triangle method is one of those ways where like, oh, not only will it help you early on figure out how to draw eyes, but it'll help you instinctively learn it much faster than say, let's look at a normal eye. Let's look at a real eye. Now I recommend still look at a real eye because looking at real eyes helped me figure out how to do my own style like here with these eyes. This was a combination of me like of what I already knew from the triangle method, as well as looking at some semi-realistic artists and realistic eyes, and I took what I wanted from the realistic eyes and kind of added it to there until I finally got the eye shape I wanted, which is like a round almond oval sunflower seed shape. Still fits in that whole diamond triangle thing. It's more natural to like a realistic eye, even if it's not realistically sized or shaped. Let's see, so let's get this design here. Fine work. It's not the cleanest. It's good enough. Kind of funny though. We've had like 3 or 4 watchers, but which is more than like what I usually have at a time. Every now and then I'll actually get multiple watchers, but not only one has ever commented. There's always just one that comments. Like I got. It's kind of funny. I know I haven't been streaming for super long consistently, but hopefully that changes. I would like to have an actual active chat to the point to where there is just like pointless discussion in my chat, and I have to try to pick out the actual useful not pick out the actual questions. Don't waste my time. I would like to get to that point. Of course, I have to build up a following for that. Ooh, so let's see. And the issue with me when I make like my undersketch is this mess is I have to keep thinking like I do not line every single line I make, even for the like outline of the breast. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to leave that alone. So if I mess with it, maybe take away some of that. Maybe too many lines. Well, some lines, yeah, some lines can be thickened. Get like some line weight. Now this over here needs like folds and stuff. I'm not completely sure how to do that, so I'm just gonna do that in color. I'm just gonna leave the shape as is. Same with the sides over here. I want to just leave it as is because I really don't understand that enough yet. There's a little etching there though for the breast. Yeah, those who are watching who are not as good drawers as me or worse than I am, just keep drawing. If you're serious about it, you will get better. Like I am self-taught, and I haven't been doing this for very long. Shorter than probably most for the point that I've gotten to. I could have honestly gone faster if I took it more serious right from the jump, but I didn't. But I've still made a lot of progress, a lot of ground. To the point that I could say that I'm not professional, but I'm at like the realms. Hmm. What would I? Cause I'm not flat out a novice either. Semi-pro maybe. Oh, intermediate. I don't know what the level in between it is. I would say semi-pro, but that seems like that might be like overshooting myself. But then that, people tend to tell me I'm over negative about my own work, so I don't know. I do know that it's good enough for people to like potentially want to get commissions from me and or intern. Hmm. My work's actually looking all right for like for the fact I'm about to color it. It's actually looking pretty all right. Doesn't look super flat either. It's like got some weights here and there. It's light. It's not heavy weight, but it's there. My work is also kind of messy up close, but then when I zoom out, it's like okay, it's all right. And for now, that's okay. But I always tone down the resolution so that people don't instinctively zoom in too much when they click on it. The issue is just I won't be able to use the paintbrush. I mean the paint bucket. I'll have to use actual just the pen and ink it in like whatever. The hair, um, I feel like the hair. I didn't make the hair long enough. Yeah, like it's like get the general shape. I feel like it's just slightly too short. So let me just lengthen it a little bit. Mm. I'm just doing curves for the hair. I don't know what happened, but like in the past, when I made this, I had no idea how I was gonna draw her hair when I drew her yesterday. But I just like, you know what? With what I'm doing, maybe I should just do this like, and then like, no, not like that. I'm like, oh, like, and that could be like one side of the hair. Like that's really the way I went about it. I had with like the under sketch, I knew like how high I wanted to go and a general idea of how wide. Yeah, and that was it. Wait a minute. What is this over here? I just drew it. Why did I circle this? Why did I circle this? Was that always there? Oh, well, let's go and connect it then. There. I want to connect that too. Let's go and connect this. I don't really have to connect it because I'm painting it in. So a lot of the outlines will just be overlooked anyway. I guess I just want to. Yeah, I definitely don't have to get every single part. I can't even fill it because some of the parts are just too. Some of the lines have too small of a break. It's not a complete shape, so I wouldn't even be able to fill it. And if I did fill it, it would just be blocky. Like, let me go on in before I end the stream. Let me go on and fill it in with the color and let's see what happens. That's not what I wanted. Actually, let's go and shift it to the color I want to. A little bit more blue in it. Let's go about right there. A little bit more blue. There we go. Let's make it a touch warmer. There, over there. I don't want to expand too much. Close gaps. Yep. Here we go. C2. Close gaps number 2. Is that be big enough? No, it wasn't. Close gaps. Let's go all the way to 5. Let's go here. Nope. Is it even reading what I'm trying to get it to close? Canvas. Let's try now. Okay, there. Yeah. So if I make this invisible, see now. There. See, it doesn't fully get it. It gets like parts of it, even with like redoing that. It gets parts, which I can still just go in and do that, and that works. Actually, I think I got the color dead on too. So I would just go over with the pen again. I don't know why that's a gap right there. Because I do expand pixel, when it meets the line, it goes a little bit further into it. But you know what? I could just easily just do this. I just go over and expand this right there. That's like that. I can just do this. It doesn't even matter if I go over it or not. You just gotta be paying attention when you do. Doesn't have to be perfect either on the lines. Now for this, I just created that part. I can fill that. Ta-da! Easy. That's pretty much where I want it to be. Right there. There. Just move that, slide that into there. Yep, there we go. There. Actually, since I could just fill this part. Because there is a line there, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and fill this. There. That should be about it right there. And ink. And right there. This thing is also in there too. Just so it doesn't look like somehow she just got these two side bangs that are the only parts that are inside of her coat. Yeah, that looks better. And one last piece. I need to make sure I ink in that part over there. Alright. Now the cool thing about digital is I could just go on and do this. Ta-da! Or I could always just put it behind a layer, but this way it's like always there. So yeah, and I can just go over there. I don't even have to worry about the lines outright, but Also, I already know flat out right that I picked the right color for there because it's looking already better than my other pieces. But yeah. So I started coloring. Good. I will stream again tomorrow. Whether she is done by tomorrow or not, I don't know. I might finish the details on my other sketch of her and the guy in the pose. And I might draw something else as well. One of these things will be finished by Sunday, if not both of them. Anyway, for those who happen to watch, feel free to follow me on Twitch, Patreon, Instagram. Trying to build up a following, trying to get a little bit, at least some kind of um, audience, so that I can eventually start building up like a secondary income, as well as just like have people be able to watch my stuff, critique my stuff, because I'm preparing all this stuff for like graduation, and after that I'll be trying to actually get a job in like the art community. So this next month will be a big grind session for me as I prepare for that. Anyway, thanks for those who showed up. Always open to doing tutorials if people are actually willing to ask me to explain certain things. But yeah, see you guys again next time. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Depending on how it is, I might stream earlier in the day and at night. I quit my job to help prepare for graduation, so I got an enormous amount of time to work on this now. Anyway, though, thanks for coming, and see you guys again next time.